Okay. In other videos, I go over some of the programs that are needed to work with tile sets, so you might want to look those up. But NW Explorer, and I talk about where to get this at and whatnot on the web page and other videos. NW Hack, which comes with Neverwinter Nights. Notepad, which I like to use Notepad++. Of course, I like to use dark themes, so and then I use the GF editor, and there's other different programs out there you can use as well, but this one here, the GF editor, edits your, let's see, your ITP file, which basically the ITP file is what lists your options on the side menu in Neverwinter Nights. So I'm opening Neverwinter Nights now. So if we go to an area, for example, this little menu over here, see this? This is what the ITP file uses. So this menu you see is not normal like a standard one. Standard ones would have features, groups, and terrains. This one just has terrains right now. It's a different system I'm working on, which is not complete. See, I can see through the world because they don't have the end cap tiles, which that's more to learn as we go with adding different tiles. But anyhow, this is what that's for. The GF editor is for managing these inputs. Select one. So that would be this ITP file. So if we just go to GF editor and say open, and we're going to make our way to say this ITP file, which would be Blender, tile sets, dark sun, desert sands, tile sets when I got this in, and you're looking for the ITP. So these are all blends. It might be at the end here. Yeah, right there. ITP file. Open. Now, this one here is actually broken down into your standards. This would be like features, groups, and then your terrains. And if you pick one, see this says desert, this says erase, jungle, but anyhow, it breaks it down, and then you got to list them underneath here for it to show up in game. You put this file in a hack, but we'll go over that more when we get to that point. But I just wanted to show that to you. This NW Explorer here is really nice because you can open and go to a hack. So let's just go documents, Neverwinter Nights, hacks, and let's say desert sands. Okay, model. You have your models that's in your hack, right? Which is your tiles. Okay, and then you have information, which is your dot set, which we haven't went over that yet. Well, I have in other videos, but not in this current set of videos I'm doing. And your ITP file, which we just went over, has that. Let's see, it goes over where eraser, raise and lower, and whatnot. Water deep, water shallow. Those are some of the ones I was working on for that set. And then your walk meshes. So here's all your tiles, here's all your walk meshes, and then your TGAs, which is your textures. Okay. So NW Explorer allows you to see this stuff, and then if I wanted to export a model, I can hit right click, export, And if I want to export a texture, I can export. Also, sometimes when these tiles are compressed, you'll try to export them, you can't get them to load or work right in your 3D program. Well, it's because they're compressed. So to uncompress them, you would go to your model and go to this tab here, hit right click, export as text. And when you export as text, let's see if we can do one here real quick. Export as text, go Blender, tile sets, and dark sun, and let's do what folder do I have open? Sands of time. So our desert set. There, just export. And right here, so it's a text file. But all you do, once that says a text file, you just go in here, go to properties, go at the end, take the text file off, it becomes an MDL again, but it's already in here. That file's already in here. So once it becomes an MDL again, you can then bring it and load it in because it's decompressed. So by exporting as a text file, it decompresses it, and you just change it to the MDL, and you can load it into, you know, Blender or whatever, Gmax, 3ds Max, Maya. But this will allow you to look at what's in a hack, this NWN Explorer, and then export components out of it that you want. Okay, now this allows you to build a hack, so, or add to. So if I wanted to open, for example, you know, Desert Sands, I have all this in here right here. If I want to add to it, go to add, and I can add whatever I want. I can go to I can click on something, hit right click, and I can remove it and get it out of the hack. So it allows you to manage it. The .set file, so if I don't have this on my computer anywhere, I don't have a copy of it, I can right click and export it, and that keeps it in the hack, but it exports a copy of it. Then it allows me to work on it, and then I can come back to this hack and hit add and re-add that .set file. But the .set file is the other main file. You have two main files. You have the ITP file, which allows you to do the listing on the side. Allows you to work with the listing on the side. That's the ITP. And then you have the .set file. Now the .set file basically just use Notepad, or I use Notepad++, and it has stuff like the name of your tile, which is like, see, the one I was working on, what was Dark Sun, so it was DS, and it was T for tile set, and then Desert Sands, you know. So that would be DST DS. Then interior 0, because it's dealing with the outdoors. Then this, remember how I said I set my tiles to 6, sometimes 3? Well, this one's set to 3. I'd set that to 6 then with the new tiles that I'm messing with. And display is for the name down here. So add equals minus sign, or display equals -1. Then put in this unlocalized name, and then this plus new never, or new royal, is what shows up for the name. In this case, the new one I'm going to look at will be called Desert Sands. Then what you're mainly making is a grassland. Mine's going to be desert, so that would be changed to desert. Then this is the grasses. So maybe you'll have some grass in your desert in places, so you'd set like the settings here. So you can go with base, but then you also have the density setting, the height of the grass, and then the texture that's being used for the grass for your tile set. Then you have terrain types. Terrain types is again in a traditional tile set, which we'll just do. Let's do. Whoop. Let's go new. Okay. And let's just grab Royal. Okay. In a traditional tile set, you have features, groups, and terrains. Features is a single tile. Just one single tile that you can lay down. That's it. That's a feature. One single tile that you can lay down, right? So do that. So that's features. Groups is a group of tiles, meaning more than one tile that's linked together to form the object or model. It's not just one, but it's two or more. Okay, so that is a group. It's a group of tiles that make the model. Then you have terrains. Terrains are basically, you have grass, which that's just your outer terrain, right? Or your base terrain. You have roads. Roads is a crosser. It crosses through a tile. See how it links two tiles? It crosses through those two. It crosses through those two. It crosses this way or this way. So it's going to exit or leave a tile through the sides, but it don't mess with the corners usually at all. That is called a crosser. It crosses through the tile. You have walls, roads, streams, different things that could be used as a crosser. Then you have what you call tiles. Tiles, if you look, I'm at terrain. Terrain, if you look, grass is a terrain. This one only has the one terrain, but the city has more. This tile, the red line shows where the tile actually is. So this tile right here, it has this corner is set to 0, this corner is set to 0, and this corner is set to 0, and this corner is set to 1, because this isn't raised, so it's 0. This isn't raised, so it's set to 0. This isn't raised, so it's set to 0. This is raised, so it's set to 1. This tile is the same thing. Matter of fact, it's just a repeat of the same tile. This one's actually a different tile, another option, and so is this one because it's got a tree on it. So this has nothing, this has a tree, and this has a rock. And if you look down here, right down here, look down there, this one's called A0401, and this one's A0402, and this one is A0403, because they're all 04s, because it's an outside corner of a terrain. So that's the reason why it's the 04, but it's different versions of it. So the last two digits is just basically saying another option for that. So if we was to sit here and erase this, we get the rock one. So now we've got 03, or we get the 01. It's just different options for that tile placement. But that being said, if you go to our .set file here, you will see where we get into tile. So this is the number of our tile. This is this one's grass, a grass tile, but it talks about what each corner is. So this one is grass in the top left corner, and the height's set to 0. This one's grass in the top right, and it's set to 0. This is grass in the bottom left, and it's the bottom left set to 0, and grass in the bottom right, and it's set to 0. But if we were dealing with, say, that tile we just seen, where one corner was raised, we would have, like, say, the top left, for example, would have that set to 1 right here. So that way the tile set knows what it is, and knows what to place next to what. It's like piecing a puzzle together. Crossers go in here. So if I was doing a wall, then it'd be like top and bottom would say wall 1, for example. or if it was a stream, maybe it's a stream 1, for example. But that being said, I also don't have anything plugged in on this particular one because it's terrains. You see, I've got 1, just grass, and you don't see any crossers in there put in this one set yet. So we're going to build one of these from scratch, but I was just going over some of this so you kind of understand and know what this is and why. Doors, you got to set this to 1 if you're going to have a door, and then you got to add in the placement underneath the tile. So we'll go over that later. But this is your .set file. So it lists all the tiles. Is tile number. Your first tile is always 0, by the way, 0, and then the next one's 1, 2, and goes on. And you got to total up the amount of tiles and put the count in here. You got to total up the amount of terrains, put it in there. There's another one you do for crossers. You got to total it up, put it in there. And I don't have any groups in this one. But then there's groups, and you got to set that up. But we'll go over that as well. But at least you're kind of getting the idea. You should be starting to get the idea. You got to organize this .set file. You got to organize your ITP file and build your hack. So this is what makes up your tileset hack once you've created your models that you want to put in. So the next video I'll look at actually starting a tile set, a .set for a tile set, and a ITP file, or maybe do the one and do the other. But that'll be it for this video. I'll see you at the next one.